Hey guys, Stribog here. So I got a pretty cool gun to do a video on. First of all, this is not mine, but I did get to play around with it. So we are taking a look at the Stribog SP9A1. So there have been a couple different versions of this. So there's a blowback version, and then I believe there's even a roller delayed, like gas system version. This one I believe is just the blowback. A little bit more simple, probably a hair bit more recoil than the other version, but I've seen people shoot them side by side and there's not a whole lot of a difference. So it does come with this box, carrying box, which is pretty cool. Now these retail for between $800 and $900, just depend on where you can find them. And it comes folded up inside the container, so it's nice and easy and convenient to carry to the range. It does come with 3 30-round magazines as well. They are some sort of like polycarbonate plastic. 30 rounds. It is marked 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, and 5. It's kind of hard to see, and it is only on the one side, so you just have to look for it to see what your round count is. But you can see through them, which is pretty cool. The gun has ran with steel case and brass case ammo through the mags. It hasn't bound up at all. So with the firearm itself, I'll start off with the back. On the back here we have the SB, I'm not sure the model exactly, folding. They make these pistol brace. They make them for the Scorpion Evos. They make them for the Stribog. They may make them for MP5s, I believe, as well. Maybe a couple of other guns. But this thing from here back is completely rubber. This whole thing. So it does twist and fold because, again, it's a pistol brace. This isn't a stock ATF. You're a bunch of retards. So it's designed to put it, through your arm here. Typically, people don't shoot it like that unless you're disabled or don't have the arm strength, and that's typically what a pistol brace is designed for. So you can do that if you'd like. But in terms of shouldering it, it's totally fine. It's kind of short, but for my stature, it's just fine. But for a big, tall person, this probably is going to be awful because it's probably going to be like, there's going to be a ton of space because it's not, long enough. Here forward, it is plastic, which is good. That's the hinging mechanism. You got to push the button in and it will fold. It is kind of stiff, you know what I mean? It's not like it's too loose. Now, it doesn't click to the side of this at all. It just kind of sits there. So take that for what it is. Pros and cons, it doesn't click. But this is typically just for storage. You can fire it with it open, but typically it's not recommended. I guess if you're in a pinch and you need to, you can, whip it out like this and still get some good shots. Yeah. Now this pistol brace does have to be taken off when you do disassemble it to get everything out, and it is a little stiff the first time I did it. I helped the owner out, and it was stiff, so definitely some break-in on getting that stock off to get the bolt out. Now the lower receiver is made of polymer, pretty much completely. The pistol grip is kind of fat, if you ask me. It's like wide, but it's very comfortable. It's kind of interesting. It doesn't look like it would be too comfortable, but it's very easy to hold. No complaints there for me. The selector switch is polymer. It looks like it's polymer, and it is just, 90 degrees? Is that what that's considered? Just straight up. 45 would be somewhere in between. Just fine. Basically an AR type selector switch. It is a little bit smaller. It clicks into place just fine. No complaints. Ambidextrous magazine catch on both sides. That's important, if you ask me. For those that are familiar with AR-15s, it's pretty much right there where you're going to use your pointer finger. At least with the closed bolt, the magazine shoots out. Let me lock it back. See if it comes out quite as easy. Okay, when it's empty, the magazine doesn't seem to come out. You have to strip it. So some of you guys might find yourself doing this. That's why it's ambidextrous. You got the options. You can put your thumb up here, push the magazine release, and strip the mag out, or you can use your pointer finger and just do that. So it's up to you, and obviously if you're a lefty, you'll probably use your pointer finger. The magwell is plastic. It's a part of the lower. Built-in trigger guard, just one piece. The bolt lock is up front. It is ambidextrous, and it's just a sheet metal piece, literally, that is held on by the front pin here. It keeps it all together. Now the bolt is back, as you can see. Now to release it, again, you're just going to push down on either side, and it does go forward. Nice strong spring in there, of course. The charging handle is up front. It can be switched from the left to the right, so for ambidextrousness. It is non-reciprocating, so this is not going to move when you fire the gun. You can see it moves independently. So you can push that forward, leave it forward, and theoretically you should be able to hold the gun and kind of use this as a rest for your thumb if you want, because this is not supposed to move. The bolt is locked back right now. Again, it is ambi, so you can hit it here or on the other side. I'll just show you right there. There is a bunch of markings on here. We got the, what does that say? Stribog SP9A1 with their logo. Some more logos over here. Some serial number, 9x19. Just some stampings for the country, I'm guessing. And then there's an M-Lock logo. And then also the import. So these obviously come from Slovakia or a different country to the U.S., but they don't come straight to me or you. They obviously go to a legit location, and not only an FFL, but like an importer. So this one says Global Ordnance, Sarasota, Florida. God bless Florida. The swamp that it is. So these are coming through Florida, and obviously get sent to your FFL once you've ordered it. It does have M-Lock on the front, 2 slots, left and right side. The bottom is Picatinny. The top is Picatinny, monolithic. And on the top, we have the Romeo SIG, Romeo 1 red dot with a little riser on there. Pretty expensive, about 300 bucks for the setup for the riser and the red dot. It does have shake awake, so when the gun is at resting, it's supposed to turn off, and then when you pick it up and kind of move the gun, if you were to, need it, it theoretically is supposed to turn on. He just got this red dot, so he still is going to test it out and make sure it works for him. About 100 yards is where I would say this thing needs to be able to hit. Past that, a 9mm, you're kind of pushing it for just, in general, like lethality. I mean, you can hit a steel plate at 150 yards with a 9mm like this, and maybe even 200, but how much energy is it carrying, right? So I believe he's going to have 1 or 2 magazines loaded up for, home defense. So he's got Go-To. They are HST, Federal HST 124 grain. Good stuff. HST has always been touted as very good ammo. So that's what he got for this for home defense. The whole receiver, I haven't mentioned this, but it's just all metal. It's one piece. I don't know what finish it is. I want to say maybe an anodizing, I don't know, I'm probably talking out of my butt there, or, a Cerakote. I'm not 100% sure. It's very, very nice. Whatever it is, they're doing it good. It does have built-in sights, pistol sights. So when you flip them up, it's just got a tiny peephole, tiny. In fact, if this was mine, I would probably take a hand drill and drill that out more, like an MP5 width. But it does have a pretty cool dot on the front. You can see it when I fold it down for the pistol sight. So those are cool backups. You can't co-witness through the sight because it's a little too high, which I prefer. The height of this red dot is perfect. It's just the sights are way low to the gun. The flashlight on here is made by Tacticon. I have heard of their products before. They seem okay. This should be fine for the 9mm. It's got a button on the left and the right side. You push it in and the flashlight will stay on. The light will stay on. You hit it again and it'll go to strobe, and then one more time to off. So it's like you have to shuffle through those settings. So it's not the best flashlight, but it sure as heck is low profile, and it wasn't very expensive, I don't believe. So the muzzle brake is an unnamed brand. I purchased it on eBay and never ended up using it. Ended up selling it to him. We got a shim kit, so I shimmed it. There is a slot at the top and slots on the side. So the gas is going to go to the side and up, so it should bring the gun down and kind of level it side to side. 9mm, there's not much muzzle, blast out of the front of it anyways, but it definitely adds look to the gun and some function for sure. I did shoot this without the muzzle brake and with it, and I think it does definitely help with it being on there. So the gun is empty. I'm going to show you the trigger pull and reset. So it is a straight profile. It is beautiful, if you ask me. Very short pull. There's really not much play to it, and the reset is just as short. I mean, look at that. It's maybe a little creepy for the pull. If you put it on safe, flip it off safe, it's got a little creep to it, but once you've made that pull up, the resistance, maybe 4 pounds, I would say, maybe 4.5, which is very impressive for a stock trigger, definitely. Much better than a stock AR trigger. So that is pretty much it. I've pretty much said everything I needed to. Alright guys, we got the Stribog out here, so we finally got a good red dot on here. This is the Romeo 1 SIG red dot, or reflex. I believe it's a 6 MOA red dot, for those that are curious. So this is the first time we've been out here with this. We're just shooting close range, and it seems to be dead on. I'm going to be using Wolf steel case. I have about 20 or 25 in here. Stupid accurate.